Mark Dibner, and in 2003, my son and I founded Kramden Institute. In fact, his name is Ned, and if you spell Ned and Mark backwards, you get Kramden. That's where we came from. We built a computer at home based on a motherboard I bought on eBay. Taught ourselves how to build a computer. I didn't even know what a motherboard was at the time. And he turned to me, he was 13, and he turned to me at the time and said, "Dad, this was a lot of fun, but there's a whole bunch of kids in my school who can't afford computers. Why don't we build some more this summer and we'll give it to them?" So when a teenager says something like that, you listen, and that's how Kramden got started. We built about 35 computers in the basement, and actually it's more like 55, and gave them to his middle school, where he had them identify kids who worked hard in school but didn't have another computer in the home. And then other people started calling me up. They had heard about the project. They wanted to come work. But our basement was full of computers, so was our garage and our dining room. And, we couldn't get anybody in the house, so we realized that this is probably something that had the ability to grow. So since 2003, we've, fast forward now to 2009, we've had 2,700 volunteers work with us. We have we've put together and donated about 4,700 computers. The computers still go to kids who work hard in school who don't have another computer in the home. So if you do the math, that's about 18 to 20,000 people we've taken across the digital divide, because the average home they go into has 4.2 people in it. Kramden is its volunteers, the people that you see behind me here on a Wednesday work night or any of our work days. They're just phenomenal people. It's what keeps me going.
What we're doing today is monitor testing, and what we have to do is make sure that both the monitor turns on, the colors are accurate. We pull up a white page to find out if there's any dark spots on the monitor, and if there are dark spots, it's going to annoy me, it's going to annoy the person that gets the computer, so then the computer fails. We pull up a dark screen and see if there's any pixels that are screaming out red or blue or the color they're not supposed to. And if any of those things happen, we fail the monitor, go to another one, because we want the kids that get these monitors to feel like I've got something really good instead of something that's hand-me-down, second-rate. And that's not what we want to do. The whole purpose of this is to make them feel good about their new computer.
All right, so right now we also give away monitors at Kramden, but bless you, they're dirty and we have to clean them much like we clean the computers. So much like the computers, we have to remove unwanted labels like this LabCorp sticker right here. So he takes it right off. It's time for a new glove. Alright, so then the next step I do is I take a towel and I spray with some Formula 409 and I scrub the computer down. For the monitors, we use Windex instead of Formula 409. So if I can find my... Here we go. Try one.
So you get one of these yellow tracking sheets and you put it on, and then you open up the computer and you make sure it has all of the parts that it needs. It needs a CD drive, needs a floppy disk, and it needs a hard drive, and you make sure it has memory. And you look on the inside. A lot of times they come without the disk drives because the person who donates them takes the drives out. They might have confidential material. Although if it comes with drives, we clean them with a special program that erases everything and writes over and over and over, so that whatever data was on the disk drive can never be retrieved again. So you look on the inside, you add all the missing pieces if there are any. Sometimes they come without the front panel, or they're missing a floppy drive or whatever, and you install those, you give it memory, and then you have to determine if it meets the minimum qualifications. It has to have 512 meg of memory. It has to be at least, I think it's 800 megahertz speed, etc. Most of these are much faster than that. And then you have to go through the, if it had a disk drive in it, you have to wipe the disk drive clean. So you do that step, you wipe the disk drive clean, you do memory tests, and you do a whole series of tests on it. And then after it meets all the minimum qualifications and all the pieces work, like the CD drive works and the floppy drive works and all those things work, then you can load the software in, and you load a copy of Windows. There are several ways to do it. I usually copy it from the network, and you load Windows after you make sure that all the minimum qualifications are met and everything is set up properly with the setup utility. And then after that, you go through a series of tests to make sure that all of the software works, that it has all of the software it needs, that it has all the device drivers, because a lot of times you might be missing a device driver, and you have to find it on the network, or you have to find it out on the web or somewhere, because the device won't work without a driver. So after you do all that, then you do final test and final activation, where you have to give it a sticker that represents the copy of Microsoft Windows operating system that belongs to this computer, and you have to register it with Microsoft. Essentially, it's called activation. And after it goes through that, it goes through final cleaning, and then it's ready to go.